Hey guys, what's going on? This is Pants our Dragon, and today we'll be doing a little video on AP UDYR, or well, basically Runic Echoes UDYR. And the reason I'm doing this video is because it surprised me so much on how UDYR's win rate is 57% on Champion GG. Now, sometimes with win rates, I don't agree with it all the time, as usually it's just the majority of platinum players, but having 57% win rate means a pretty big thing. And what surprised me even more is people aren't building UDYR for having the highest win rate. People are building Runic Echoes on him. And I'm just like, what? How does that make sense? AP UDYR is troll. But I kind of finally understood why it's good after trying it myself and just seeing the power of it. So in this video, I'm just going to be doing reasons why I think this build is really good on him and doing a little guide on him, you know, giving you runes and masteries, tips and tricks, and all that fun jazz around him. Anyways, with all that being said, let's get started. Now, first up, to all you Trick2G followers and fanboys, this your time to shine in solo queue. Make it rain and get that LP from them bitches when you playing UDYR in solo queue. Now, in no way am I a better UDYR player than Trick2G, but I will say that this guy is going to be playing some AP UDYR in solo queue now. And on his main too, because I am an OP abuser, and I just like playing OP champions. But now, you're probably wondering, like I did before, how is AP UDYR so strong? Alright, so we're going to be talking about a lot of synergies with UDYR, and the first synergy he has is he scales good with percent movement speed. His base movement speed is 345, and add 15 because his passive can give him up to plus 15 more movement speed. Pantheon's and Master Yi's movement speed is 355, so he actually can be better than them as long as he can keep the stacks on his passive. And yes, Runic Echoes, that does give 10% movement speed. Next up is going to be synergy with Swifty boots. UDYR's got to get Swifty with them Swifty boots. And yeah, since he's getting a lot of percent movement speed coming from bear stats, his runes, Runic Echoes, he's going to be a really quick bear, you know, running at the people and slapping them in the ass. And yeah, it just gives him a lot of mobility around the map and allows him to run circles around people. And next up, he actually has decent AP ratios. I thought he had pretty shitty ones, but actually they're somewhat decent. Got a 0.5 on the shield, and you got a 1.25 on the AoE of Phoenix, and you got a 0.45 on the cone. So, you know, it's pretty good. Of course, you don't want to build full AP UDYR because you'd be very squishy, as you're a pure melee champion. Next up, since UDYR spams a lot of abilities, he can easily charge his Runic Echoes passive. He also runs around a lot, so that is another way to charge the passive too. And yeah, he just has really good synergy with the Echoes passive. It's also very easy to proc Echoes since you just press R and it constantly goes for like 5 seconds. So yeah, in that case, it's pretty easy. And finally, one of the biggest points to get Runic Echoes on UDYR is that it gives him mana sustain. So now you don't have to rely on getting blue buff every time, and now you can actually give it to your mid laner. So yeah, it's a good source of mana regen. And once you get the Iceborne Gauntlet, you'll probably never run out of mana again. And yeah, that's basically the points why Runic Echoes is really good on him. Like, I thought Runeglaive was a really cost-efficient item, but when Echoes came out, you can see like a bunch of boosts to AP junglers. For instance, Elise got a big boost. Evelyn is starting to see more play, but I never thought it would actually help UDYR a lot. Now, finally, why don't we get down to the runes and masteries and all the build specifics. So for masteries, I go 0, 12, and 18. Not really going for Thunderlords because, you know, we want to be pretty tanky for these team fights. And you want to reduce your summoners instead of getting the health regen because you flash a lot for that bear stats proc. Next up is going to be runes. So I take attack speed reds, movement speed quints, cooldown per level glyphs, and armor per level yellows. Some people like to take hit point per level yellows, but personally for me, I think Turtle Stance will give me a lot of extra hit point, so I basically have a big health pool with that. And to supplement the constant shields I'll be putting out, armor will definitely benefit me more than the hit point per level. And finally, what we're all waiting for, the item build. So UDYR's build is all about movement speed, getting resists, getting armor, exchange procs, and having cooldown reduction. So that's what we're trying to emphasize on this build a lot. Abyssal is a really good item on him since it is one of the best AP items in the game right now, as it is fairly cheap and gives him a lot of stats. For situational items, I recommend getting a Lichbane if you want to go super AP carry UDYR, as it definitely gives him a lot of stats he wants. Damage, mana, cooldown reduction, and movement speed, that's really good. Everything else is kinda situational, of course. I know ZZ Rot Portal is pretty decent on him, I just don't know how to utilize that item. And I preferably don't really think it's too good. Now, for the skill order, I usually go R then Q then R then E, and then I try and prioritize R over W over E over Q. The reason I get a point in Q at level 2 is because I want super fast clears, so I want to output a lot of damage in the jungle. Plus, if you use your Tiger Sense and then swap to your Phoenix Sense, you'll have the attack speed bonus still, because Tiger Sense gives you increased attack speed. For my route, I'm just aiming to do a full clear for the first time, and then maybe try some ganks or go farm the jungle until I get that Runic Echo's power spike. Alrighty, so now to end this video off, we're going to be doing some tips for you guys and giving you a few pointers. Tip number 1. In team fights, try and rotate through your stances. So what I usually do is I would go bear and try and initiate, then I'd use my Phoenix, and then I'd use my turtle, and then I'd just keep rotating them throughout like that. The reason you do this is because you want all the cooldowns to be consistent. Obviously there will be times where you want to go into bear stance and run back and try and peel for your carries, but generally doing this rotation will provide you a really consistent combo with him. Now, for tip number 2, try to reactivate R after a stance proc. So say you're in Phoenix stance, and you're about to hit that third proc. When you hit that third proc, press R, and then you would do a double proc. And so this trick is actually very useful for clearing the jungle. Not necessarily for team fights though, since as UDYR you want to keep spamming your cooldowns. Next up, tip number 3, keep monkey agility going with the blue buff. So when you have 3 stacks of monkey's agility, you get 15 base movement speed plus 30% attack speed, so your clears, they're going to be really fast if you constantly have 3 stacks. And for tip number 4, you want to go for a more farm heavy early game. UDYR has one of the best clears in this game, along with Shyvana, so I would highly emphasize on just farming hardcore. As for mid game and late game playstyle, generally I'd probably go for a team fight playstyle if I'm ahead, but if I'm behind, maybe split pushing might be better. And as we all know, UDYR is a really good split pusher. But yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And in my last video, I asked you guys what's your favorite ice cream flavor, and you guys responded with all types of flavors, such as caramel, you know, my favorite, salty, the flavor of my enemies, and the favorite of some girls and I guess gay guys. So there's a variety of flavors you guys like. But for this video, I want you guys to comment below on what your favorite type of UDYR is. You know, is it Phoenix Devourer, Tiger UDYR Warrior, Cinderhulk UDYR? Actually, I just realized he can use all of the jungle items and be pretty efficient at each one. He's actually a very versatile champion, and I didn't really realize that. So yeah, props to Riot, I guess, for making this champion. But yeah, comment below on what your favorite UDYR is. And if you did like this video, make sure to leave a like, and if you didn't, leave a dislike. And also consider subscribing for future videos like this. And I am Panzer Dragon, and I'll see you guys next time.
I just wanna know one thing. You ready? Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god. Stop fucking lying. Always lying to me. You lying so much. You making it hard for me. Every time you tell me something, I figure.
Did you see that? It's so stupid.
The chase of fucking retards.
Yeah, it's literally fucking retarded.